Can you tell us about The Postman, which is such a long time?
Yes.
And I mean, it's obviously you've had a very successful career since, but The Postman was, not a well-received film.
I think it was voted the worst film of 1997 after Flubber. It wasn't even the worst film.
That's some going. Okay,
I know. Second place to Flubber.
But was great for you, wasn't it? Because Kevin Costner got you from
Damp Basement in Camden Town.
Yeah, a tape that you'd sent him.
Correct. I am still grateful to Kevin and The Postman, because I certainly wouldn't be sitting here with you now were it not for that. In the golden period after finishing filming and before it came out and was hideously reviewed, I got Rushmore, and the producer of Rushmore also got me into The Sixth Sense. So really, it was the beginning of my career in movies, and I learned everything. Kevin was the star, the producer, the director, so we would do a shot and then we'd walk round to the monitor and watch it back, and he'd go, nice performance, but you're not doing it towards the camera. Would you like to turn your face this way? And I learned how to act on film. I learned how to ride a horse on film. I learned how to shag on film. I learned about flying in helicopters on film. I did everything you ever are going to be
all in one movie.
All in one movie. 110 days shoot.
But still, it was worse than Flubber. I can't quite imagine that.
There was a review in Q magazine that did, and it was John Norton, I credit, because did call it post-apocalyptic Pat, which I did think was just brilliant. But of course, I mean, by that point, Costner, he'd done Heaven's Gate, and Waterworld had happened already, hadn't it? So it's after Waterworld. So it's like he had become indestructible, because Waterworld, in the end, didn't lose money. Waterworld did end up making money.
Nor did The Postman.
The Postman broke even?
It made money. I'm sorry, he has got a big fan base in Asia, which is,
Rachel in Coventry. I saw Olivia years ago in a performance of The Changeling at the Warwick Arts Centre. She was brilliant, and her performance helped me pass A-level English.
God bless you.
So thank you. Coincidentally, says Rachel, I saw The Good Doctor at the same venue a few weeks ago. His show didn't provide any academic help, but was nevertheless extremely witty.
But would it have benefited from Simon Mayo keeping in some of the rants as the Mancunion, as you called it?
Clive in Fry and Barnet, your guest today, Olivia Williams, who was also in the film, as you just mentioned, with the most famous of unfortunate events, The Sixth Sense. The notorious not-to-be-talked-about scene was leaked to me by an ignorant co-worker on the afternoon before I was going to see it that evening. And then he has a word there which is not broadcastable, I think. Anyway, tell Olivia I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
Says Clive in Fry and Barnet.
Thank you, Clive.
Do you still get good work out of Rushmore, out of Sixth Sense? I mean, because they're big films for you. Do people go, no, let's get her, let's get Olivia Williams, because we've seen what she can do? I mean, it's not recent, but does it still open doors? Yeah,
it's not even because we've seen what we can do. It's a kind of residue, nostalgia and affection, which I really would like to encourage in any film directors. Just being involved with Rushmore generates a tremendous amount of affection, particularly in America. And The Sixth Sense, it's still the calling card. It's the one where the taxi driver goes, "Are you famous? I don't know who you are." And I say, "I was in The Sixth Sense." Oh.
You don't say, "Excuse me, I was in The Postman."
No, well, I could try that, but it doesn't seem to work, sadly. But no, I have tremendous affection for actually, because people have sort of said, "Why did you do this? Why did you disappear at this point?" And I actually don't regret. The worse the film, the better the experience. Very often I have better anecdotes, better friends, because you've been through the mill on something. And so some of my lowest career points have actually produced the best friends.
Have you ever walked from a film?
I haven't. I'm quite tough. I see things through. When I'm in. I've said this before, I'm quite sort of suspicious at first, and then when I go for it, I will do everything I can to make it work. And that, that has been misguided in some cases. I've fought very hard for things I probably should have walked away from.
And how long into a project is it before you realise you're on to either an absolute winner, and like An Education, something like that, which is such fantastic, or something that's a stinker? Or do you just know?
It's very hard to say. I'm a bit like a child. I sort of believe in it right up until the reviews come out and nobody goes to see it. I was a bit stupid, I think, with The Sixth Sense. I watched the movie and went, "Oh my God, he's dead." It really takes me a while, and I love the bad films I've made because they're like this sort of amazing photo album of a great summer holiday, like going to camp. So I still love the bad ones.
But what about Peter Pan, which should have been more successful than it was? And in fact, I mean, Jason always he tells this story about he got the role.
Who?
Jason Isaacs.
Oh yeah, hi, Jason.
Instantly say hello to Jason Isaacs.
Hello, Jason. How are you doing?
See, she does it nicer than we do. Jason Isaacs always said that he got that role because there was somebody else cast, and then the other person went out and he said they needed somebody that fitted the costume, and he was the person, which is obviously completely untrue. But that is actually a very good. I mean, that's on hard circulation in our house.
I know, it's a great film, and it was opened the same week as the third in the trilogy of Lord of the Rings.
So you think that's what killed it?
Yes, I do. I really do. I think you can't argue with any of the casting, the taste of it. PJ Hogan, who is just the most tremendous filmmaker, the love story between Peter and Wendy. It's a beautifully told story. I mean, I can remember we were in Australia and watching these craftsmen carving the pirate ship from blocks of wood. It's the most beautifully made film, and Lynn Redgrave's fantastic in it. Nana the dog. I love it. I love it, and I'm very sad that it didn't break box office records. But it is again, it's another slow burner. Every kid's got it and sees it, and makes me very popular at the school gates.
And what is it you're working on at the moment, Olivia? What are we going to see you in next?
I just did ADR, additional dialogue recording, yesterday on a film called Hannah, which I'm really excited about. Joe Wright, Saoirse Ronan, starring with Cate Blanchett, and it's a crazy. I don't know what it is. Is it a thriller? Is it a road movie? It's a really interesting mix of genres, and I think it's going to be very good. And I'm going to be on stage in a Neil LaBute play in March next year, which I start rehearsing.
And when was the last time you did a stage play?
3 years ago, just before I went to do Dollhouse, I was on stage at the National in a play called Happy Now, which was, here's a test for you, Mark Kermode, written by Lucinda Coxon.
What's the test?
She wrote a movie that I was
Lucinda Coxon.
And I won a BFI award for it.
This is
go on. What is it?
Okay.
Test Mark.
The Heart of Me.
Oh, okay, fine. No, I'm sorry, and I wouldn't have got there. Sorry,
Very good
I'm terrible with trivial. I mean, I always there's that thing like, oh, you'd be great in a pub quiz. No, I'd be rubbish in a pub quiz.
Okay.
Literally no good at all.
Okay, so I was in a play by Lucinda Coxon, who also writes for the screen. And yeah, I do slightly get the kneecaps detaching from the leg and shaking up and down when I go back on stage after a while.
You did RSC for 3 years, didn't you?
Yeah, I was 8 years on stage before the movie thing happened. That was my ambition. That was where I wanted to be. I didn't know anything about film. I really did learn from nothing on The Postman. I literally had to learn the most basic things about shots and how you create a two-shot and how you create a conversation. I knew nothing. And the editors on The Postman were both English, and they were the only people who would drink alcohol without being thought they were alcoholics by strange Americans. And we used
Do they not drink, the Americans?
Not really, not when they're working. They drink. If you drink vodka out of your Evian bottle. You're either a kind of hardcore alcoholic or you don't touch the stuff. And so I would take a bottle of vino round to the English editors and learnt about putting a film together in their editing shack with the boys from London.
Are you at home for Christmas? Are you relaxing?
What, are you going
Christmas?
round?
No. I'm just,
Come on over.
Does everyone? Do you just relax? Are you off somewhere?
We're off on Boxing Day. Got some friends in Vermont, so we're going to go and hit ski slopes for Boxing Day. But we're eating our turkey in NW1.
I wasn't after. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I wasn't necessarily.
I think it was an invitation. I would take it like
It
that.
was
you know.
just a kind of Christmas is. Our Christmas Eve is in 2 weeks. That's what it is.
No, I shall be unwrapping presents and have my hand up a turkey's arse, I'm sure.
That's very good. Thank you very much for leaving that rich Anglo-Saxon word right to the very end.
When you see Neil
Actors,
LaBute, tell him he's a brilliant director, but he needs to apologise for The Wicker Man.
I will tell him that. In fact, could you tell him?
Yeah, that's fine.
Olivia Williams, it's been good to have you on. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. All round to your place then for Christmas.
And her address is on the website.
Yeah, that's right.
5 Live.
Just ask
What's that,
WikiLeaks.
12 o'clock? 12
Yeah, we
12
usually actually do early afternoon.
Fine, okay.
WikiLeaks have got a celebrity page. Any address or phone number that you need, I'm sure.
Just
Julian
don't
will.
even say that as a joke, because somebody will, and it will be your fault. You've seen The Fisher King, right?
Olivia, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Now.